Hi, welcome to the WTAMU Virtual Math Lab. This video will step you through College Algebra Tutorial 17, Example 8. In this example, we want to solve the quadratic equation 3x squared minus 2x plus 9 equals 0 by completing the square. In step 1, we want to make sure that the coefficient on the x squared term is equal to 1. It looks like we have a 3 in front of that x squared term. If we divide both sides by the coefficient of x squared, this will give us a 1. Let's go ahead and divide both sides by 3. When we do this, we will have 3x squared minus 2x plus 9 all over 3 equals 0 over 3. Simplifying this, we end up with x squared minus 2/3 x plus 3 equals 0. In step 2, we want to isolate the x squared and x terms. We have to do a little work here. We need to move that plus 3. The inverse would be to subtract 3 from both sides. When we do this, we get x squared minus 2/3 x plus 3 minus 3 equals 0 minus 3. When we simplify that, we'll get x squared minus 2/3 x equals negative 3. In step 3, we want to complete the square. We need a number to add to our x squared minus 2/3 x so that we have a perfect square trinomial. We can find that number by using the idea that if we have x squared plus bx, where b is the coefficient of the x term, we can complete the square by adding the constant b over 2 quantity squared. In our problem, the number in front of that x term is a negative 2/3, so b is equal to a negative 2/3. The constant we are looking for to complete the square can be found by taking 1/2 times negative 2/3 and squaring that quantity. We end up with a negative 1/3 inside that parentheses that needs to be squared, which comes out to be 1 over 9. Adding 1 over 9 to both sides of the equation, we get x squared minus 2/3 x plus 1 over 9 equals a negative 3 plus 1 over 9. Rewriting a negative 3 with a denominator of 9, we get x squared minus 2/3 x plus 1 over 9 equals a negative 27 over 9 plus 1 over 9, which gives us x squared minus 2/3 x plus 1 over 9, and combining a negative 27 over 9 plus 1 over 9 gives us a negative 26 over 9 on the right side. In step 4, we want to factor the perfect square trinomial created in step 3 as a binomial squared. When we do that, we get x minus 1 over 3 quantity squared equals a negative 26 over 9. In step 5, we want to solve the equation in step 4 by using the square root method, as we did in example 6. Applying the square root method, we get our two equations, x minus 1 over 3 equals the square root of a negative 26 over 9, or x minus 1 over 3 equals a negative square root of a negative 26 over 9. In the first equation, we can take the square root of the negative and the 9 and get x minus 1 over 3 equals a square root of 26 over 3i. The inverse of subtract is to add 1/3 to both sides, so we get x minus 1 over 3 plus 1 over 3 equals the square root of 26 over 3i plus 1 over 3. And we simplify that, that will give us our first solution of x equals 1 over 3 plus square root of 26 over 3i. In the second equation, we can take the square root of the negative and the 9 and get x minus 1 over 3 equals a negative square root of 26 over 3i. The inverse of subtract is to add 1/3 to both sides, which will give us x minus 1 over 3 plus 1 over 3 equals a negative square root of 26 over 3i plus 1 over 3. When we simplify that, that gives us our second solution of x equals 1 over 3 minus the square root of 26 over 3i. So this means we end up with our final answer of x equals 1 over 3 plus square root of 26 over 3i, or x equals 1 over 3 minus the square root of 26 over 3i.